What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're back again. And this is not surprising at all. Coming up after Worlds was literally what last week? I figured they would have waited 2 weeks for this, but here we are. We have it, and then say it's a temporary ban list, ban and limited card update, but it's temporary. So let's see what's going on here.
Hello, casters. My name is Ben, but you might know me as Ridiculous Hat. No, I'm not wearing a hat. It's okay. I'm the director.
Yeah, if you're gonna call it a ridiculous hat, and you're gonna show up on chain. Wear a hat, dude. You should have a hat that just says hat. I think that'd be funny.
Director of Player Experience here at Elestrals, and today I have an exciting update to share with you on the upcoming meta.
Exciting depending on which cards are getting banned or limited or what's getting pulled off or what's getting whatever.
So, we just got back from the World Championships. It was pretty great. For everyone that I saw there, for everyone that had a good time there, I'm really glad you got to go. For everyone that didn't, we'll see you at our next event. So for those of you there, you saw the tournament. Really exciting gameplay. Congratulations to Trishula for winning the event. And of course, if you were in the hall, you saw some Sunstrike, the brand new set that's coming out May 22nd. We have some of it there, but it's not going to be available in stores for a little while. However, that's not going to stop us from pushing our tournament circuit forward and preparing the road to Worlds 2027. So, starting April 1st, we're going to reset all the qualifier points. The road to Worlds 2027 begins. The first premiere is on Saturday, April 4th. This is also when we're resetting all the Divine's Favor systems, the folk hero systems that we talked about at Worlds. You'll want to go to locals and start earning those points towards your promos.
That's so cool.
Now, normally this is where we'd have a new set and where we'd have new tournament packs. But as you may know, the manufacturer delay to Sunstrike has made that tricky. We're going to adjust, and we're extending this season to make sure you have more time to earn your points.
Big question is, what's going on with Shattered Stars? We haven't had a new Shattered Stars in like 2 months. Does that also have to do with the delays? I could understand going back to the main sets and everything, but I think you could have kept Shattered Stars going in America for now until you can figure everything else out and refine those cards for later sets with Shattered Stars.
In addition, to keep things fresh for a little while, we have a temporary ban list coming to the meta. Now, we don't use temporary ban lists all the time, and we don't want to use temporary ban lists all the time. But in this particular,
I think the last time they did a temporary ban, like not what they did in December and January, but like we're gonna unban these cards, gonna put these cards back to 3, and then 2 weeks later be like, oh shoot, we need to go put these on. That wasn't temporary. That was a oh shoot, we screwed up. I think the last time they did that wasn't banned, but it was like limited from the end of Daybreak to Moonrise, with Demeter and Zeus being put to 1 for a limited amount of time until Moonrise came on, because people were spamming Demeter and Zeus at 3, and it was making the entire game just not fun to play. So I think that was the last time we had a limit of any kind, like a temporary limit or ban of any kind.
Particular circumstance, it calls for it. We want to make sure the format stays fresh, that we gather a little bit of data on possible adjustments we could make in the future, but we don't want to disrupt players' collections, especially at the local level. This is a change that's really going to make a difference at the Premier level, and it may bring some novelty to your locals as well. In addition, like I mentioned, we're going to test out these cards and see exactly how they feel with the adjustments. It's possible that some of these are totally fine to come back and will stick around for Sunstrike, whereas it's also possible in the future that maybe some of these gotta go. No promises right now, we just want to see how things change. Okay, so
I think after a big event like Worlds or whatever the next event's going to be, a temporary like ban list to feel things out is probably a good thing, just to see how things go before you really say this is permanent or we can bring those back.
You've heard the goals, you've heard the ideas, so what are we doing? Let me give you the temporary ban list, and by the way, this will go into effect on Friday, April 3rd, and will be live for the premiere on Saturday, April 4th. First of all, Aphoros from base set is banned. Now, if you have been playing Elestrals for the past couple of months, if you have been in the competitive sphere,
when you go to Worlds and over half of the decks is, like, majority of the decks are fish, it just, like, where's the diversity? Where's the diversity? You had solar and water in most of the. I mean, we had like one frost, one something else maybe, but it was mostly solar and fish. We need to change something.
You've probably heard about fish. This deck we knew was going to be pretty solid coming out of the January 19th ban list, but it has overperformed beyond what we expected. A big part of this is that base set Aphoros, one of those pesky base set Nexusers, refills back row runes so reliably that it's very, very hard to catch up when the fish deck gains an advantage. The Aphrodite and Magnaros cards are really good at finding this Aphoros. We tried it out with one, and one just doesn't cut it. You don't really eliminate the gameplay experience, so instead, we're going to go with a temporary ban on this card. We'll see how Fish adapts without the power of Perpetual Draw. Okay, so we thought that Fish might have been the best deck going into Worlds, but actually, we saw quite a bit of performance from Solar decks. Many of them featuring Celestlio, and many of them featuring Novacore Champion of Apollo, which we are limiting to one copy.
Absolutely.
Now, this card has been a strong performer for
I'm pretty sure Trishula and I'm pretty sure anytime we saw Solar on the live stream, Novacore was a key factor in getting to Celestlio. If you get this Novacore on your field, you're going to be able to wreak havoc, and then especially with Temple, because the Temple of the Sun has to be on the field if you want to play it without hard ascending into it. That's already going to make it a 6/8. So your opponent's going to have to either have a Earthquake or nothing else is on the field for them, and they have the one of Earthquake and the one of Resting on Your Laurel. There's not really any other way to get a 6/8 out of the game. If you wipe your opponent's board and they go to try and get anything else on there, you're not going to see too many things that are going to be able to take this thing on.
the entirety of Lifestream. It's a normal cast 2-drop, it's non-target removal, it's a really great defender. It really picked up after the January 19th ban list as well, and now most decks are running 3 copies, 2 Glimbats, 2 Temples, and many are even running Exaltus, which can serve to search multiple copies to ensure that nothing sticks to the board. This is very tough to keep up with.
The thing about Novacore is, like I said, even at 1, getting it on the field early, your opponent's going to have a hard time unless they have that Resting on Your Laurels, unless they have Shield of Achilles. They have PTA as well, which PTA in Novacore is going to suck because you're paying out 3 instead of just like 2 for a 1 cost. This is definitely one of those ones that would not be surprised after live stream, the first ban list and live stream. I could totally see Novacore being banned.
We're
this Novacore, not base set Novacore, but this Novacore.
Worried that if we only go after Fish, then Solar will be the top dog, especially after winning the last tournament. As such, we're putting Novacore to 1 to see how Solar can adapt. But that's not it. Now you might think, oh, Fish had the most copies in the top 16, Solar was right behind it, that's it, right? But there's a little bit more. We want to make sure that we truly introduce a more diverse meta experience, and there are a couple of decks waiting in the wings that we want to try out some changes to as well. First, let's talk about Hermes. Aviolith, Champion of Hermes, is limited to 1. If you've
Did we even see Aviolith that much, like at all? We're limiting something that I don't even think we saw one time on live stream. Of course, there was 82 people playing, but was Aviolith even used that much?
Played against Hermes, or if you've talked about Hermes, you might have heard 32 spirits being thrown around. I'm not sure the deck is quite at that level, but playing against multiple Avioliths makes it seem like that Hermes can go on forever. We were debating a little bit between do we do 2 copies or 1 copy, but when you have 2 copies, you're able to trickery them back and forth. It really doesn't feel meaningfully different, as opposed to 1 copy.
Oh yeah, trickery is definitely one of those things that you got to make sure you because of trickery, yeah, you definitely gotta do a lot more with the bans.
Hermes players will have to be extra careful with their resources, which, from what I can tell, they really like doing. Is that it? Nope, we've got one more. Morfrost Chimera form
Not surprising.
is moving to 2 copies.
Only 2 copies. I'm surprised they didn't put it down to 1, because you can discard a Morfrost and draw a card. Like, yeah, that's, and it's a 5/2. I think it's the strongest Morfrost on its own without having a boost to it. So yeah, 5/2. Maybe you get the mountains on there, make it a 6/3. Putting this at 1 would have been. Well, I'm surprised they didn't put this at 1. This is definitely one of those ones that I'm like, yeah, it needed to hit.
Semi-limits can seem a little strange, but as we described in our ban list philosophy in the last video and in the last article, again in January, semi-limits are used when a card really compounds in multiples. And if you've played against Morfrost, you've seen Chimera for Bat, for Chimera, for Bat, for Chimera. Shaving one copy will reduce the chance of drawing this naturally early, but since the deck is already doing Narpoon into Lycan anyways, that's not as much of a concern, it's not nothing, but it's more about the ceiling of the mid-game draw of Chimera off the top to make a couple of 5s out of nowhere. By reducing the frequency of that and reducing the ceiling of that, we expect the Morfrost decks to shift just a little bit to accommodate for more.
Even though Morfrost only had 1, it's like, I don't know why we're hitting Morfrost really much at all. We had 1 Morfrost deck in the top 16, and it got obliterated in the top 16. So I don't know, man. This one just feels a little iffy to me.
Normal cast, and maybe we see more Bromelinkses running around. Okay, and that's the whole thing. So this goes into effect on Friday the 3rd. It will cease to apply on Friday, May 22nd, the day that Sunstrike comes out. We really look forward to see what you come up with, and we will see you on Saturday the 4th for the first premiere of the Road to Worlds 2027.
I would definitely say, they say, he just said that like these get limited now or banned. It's temporary, and they go into effect until May 22nd. I would come back at May 21st with a preemptive, like just like what the thoughts on of having Aphros banned outright, having Morfrost Lycan down to 2, which of course we'll have 3. We'll probably have 3 online tournaments already done before we get to the 21st. Maybe 3, maybe 4. I don't know when the second one will be in May, but probably May 22nd. That'd be nice. May 22nd. Yeah, I don't expect him to go well. Oh, let's have the first Sunstrike tournament on May 23rd. That'd be kind of ridiculous. Do it the next week after, when a lot more people will have those cards. So I'm sure before we get to the first tournament, the first official tournament in Sunstrike, they might come back to this and go, well, we don't need to bring, like, this one's fine. Like, Aphros at 1, bring it back, it's fine. Lycan Form at 2 is fine. We're going to keep it at 2. I think it's a temporary ban. I think when we get right before Sunstrike's first official tournament, maybe we should have another one of these come up and letting it, like, assessing where it feels right now and what they feel like what should be brought back in. Obviously, we'll get Sunstrike to come out in May. Probably won't have another actual ban list until probably mid-June. Get about a couple weeks in the Sunstrike, see how the meta firms out, see how the good decks are, like the good deck builders are, and see how the top cut goes for the first 3 tournaments. But yeah, 2. I would say probably you get 2 in May, the 2 tournaments in June, maybe July, probably July. 2 tournaments in June, unless a card or 2 becomes super broken and just wreaks havoc all over the meta. We probably won't have an actual another ban list till probably mid-July. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Not surprised here for a couple of these things. Novacore, I'm really surprised you just didn't get outright banned. Novacore Champion is absolutely one of the most broken cards out there. If your opponent, if you're somebody like a Trishula, or somebody who's like really good at this game, and you know how to like manage your spirits and everything, you're only gonna need one Novacore. You're only gonna need one Novacore. You just play that first light. You get the Novacore on an Apollo, and you're able to, like, okay, put my stadium down, Novacore, next turn, and because your opponent wasn't able to get out, boom, you got Celestleo, and you're good. I'm really surprised they haven't touched Celestleo yet, or Nebuleo, or Leo Bright, because yeah, Celestleo is still it's a menace. Celestleo is one of those ones, like, not like we're getting Champ Celestleo, but let's be honest, I don't know how many people are going to want to use Champ Celestleo over normal Celestleo at this time, and at this time of builds and everything, because it just, you put Celestleo on the field, you basically win. you basically win. But again, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, comment down below, and I will be here for the next reaction video, whatever that is going to be. Until then, my name is Frost, and I'll see you guys later.